How doing, people? It's Charlie and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for your post-match reaction to Leeds United 2, Scum 4, which for me is a scoreline that doesn't reflect the entirety of the game. I thought Leeds competed quite well and we showed good grit, good determination and great fight to bring it back to 2-2. But in the end, I think the clear difference in class in those attacking areas was the reason why we lost that game. But just before we get into it properly, smash that like button, please subscribe. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subs on the channel, guys, so if you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, it would really mean a lot. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below as well. And yeah, let's get into it. So then, we lost out 4-2 to the Scummers from across the Pennines. The atmosphere in Elland Road was as electric and was as unreal as what I thought it would be. From even getting in to the ground when the players were warming up to the last minute when the full-time whistle went, the atmosphere was just class. It felt like, obviously, you know, I'm only 24, but it did feel like a classic old-fashioned throwback game. Some of the challenges that were flying in, fair ones, but, you know, meaty tackles, which is what I wanted to see, you know, fight. And I just wanted us to show that we were up for it, especially after the Everton game. I thought that was the worst performance of the season. So I expected a bounce back. And I did say in my preview that as long as I got a performance, I would be happy. So yeah, I am happy that we performed and that we competed well in this game. But obviously I am gutted at the outcome. Given the mad 30-second period that I will get on to shortly. But I thought first half, we were okay. Weren't great, but again, you know, Man United are a weird team, really. The style of play is quite boring, but it is effective when executed correctly, and today it was. Obviously, the weather, the pitch was, every time a ball was kicked, you could see the amount of water that was just coming up from grass, and obviously that did play a part in the game. But Man United take the lead from yet again a set piece. Harry Maguire, of all people, like, slaphead. I mean, come on. How have we allowed Harry Maguire to score? That's their first goal from a corner all season, and it just had to come against us. Llorente lets Maguire slip, and he's beaten, and it's 1-0 to the Scum. And I thought, up until that point, I thought Leeds were competing okay in the game. We had a few half chances that just weren't executed correctly, as always with Leeds. The starting lineup for us as well, sorry, I forgot to mention. When I saw that Raf was on the bench, I was like, oh my God. Like, fair enough, he hasn't played well of late, but he's his best player. And if you've got your best player available in a game like this, you start him for me. But obviously, there was a point in game where you thought it was a bit of a tactical genius from Bielsa, but obviously it turned out that it wasn't. But yeah, at 1-0, you're thinking, right, let's just get in at half time. We're still in the game. We can come out second half and we can get at them. And then poor defending, as always, with Leeds. Leads to a second goal for Scum right on half time. Bruno Fernandes header. When does Bruno Fernandes ever score a header? Only against Leeds. And yeah, at half time you're just thinking, oh my God, same old. And I actually said to my uncle at half time, I said, look, I'll be happy if we just keep it at 2-0 now and just let's not make it any worse. because I kind of expected Man United to come out in the second half and kind of sit back a little bit. You know, they're 2-0 up. And I thought our defending was that poor. I just thought, if we can just get through this next half without conceding, then that'd be great. Obviously, that didn't turn out to be the case, but what did unfold at the start of that second half, oh my God. I've been going to Leeds games for quite a lot of years now. But I think that 30-second period when we scored the 2 goals, I've never experienced limbs like it in terms of being there in person. That South stand was, it was unreal. It was unreal. Let's talk through both goals then. So the first one from Rodrigo. Man United are kind of on an attack. Third opponent makes a good challenge, obviously, because of weather, the ball just sits right for him. Plays it down line to Rodrigo. And I don't know if he meant it or not, but either way it went in. I think he looks up and he wants to try and get it to Rafinha at the back post. But what ends up happening is a cross-turn shot. It just loops all the way over De Gea and it's 2-1. And the limbs were unreal even at that goal. But even me, I was thinking, right, fair enough, you know, we've pulled a goal back. And then literally straight from kickoff, we go and equalise through Rafinha. James with a good ball into the box. Raf meets it at the back post, slides it in, and it's 2-2. And oh my God, Elland Road, the roof nearly came off. Like, there were lads who were 3-4 rows behind me that jumped and they were literally on my row, like on my back. I was getting dragged about from pillar to post. I was nearly on floor at one point. And I just turned around to lads behind me and I was like, what has just happened? Like, what has actually just happened? And it's funny because when I got back to my seat for the start of the second half, the lad behind me went, he went, it's easy, he went 4-2 Leeds, you know, obviously having a joke. And I went, mate, I'd be happy with 2-2 right now. And then that happened and I was like, oh my God, I was like, can we actually hold out for a draw or can we even go on and win it? Joffrey has a chance not long after we equalise. De Gea just gets to it. You're thinking, come on, we're getting on him here, come on. It's 2-2 for quite a while in that second half and Leeds were playing some really good football. We proper turned up in that second half. I don't think one player put a foot wrong. Obviously, we brought Harrison off at half-time and Llorente, which I feel like were the right moves. Harrison didn't really do much in the first half and Llorente's passing. Them long balls that he plays are just not working. He's been shocking recently. And for me, he should be dropped against Liverpool. He won't be, but he should be. And obviously, we moved Elland to centre-back with Strike, I think. And yeah, it was just... That period, even just thinking about it now, I get goosebumps. Like, it was unbelievable. It's 2-2 for most of that half, as I just said. We're playing really well. We're getting at them. And I'm thinking we're either going to leave it at 2-2 or we're going to grab something here. Like, I just had a feeling. But then that wasn't to be. This third goal as well that they scored, I think Melier is hugely at fault. It might seem like I'm nitpicking, but Fred's shot was from the near post, and I've watched it back on the Sky Sports highlights on YouTube, and he needs to be doing better there at the near post. He does. It's just not good enough, and his distribution today, oh my God. There was one point in the first half where he kicked it out at wing, and there was no one there. And I'm thinking, how has he not seen that no one is there? And he plays that ball out to either wing all the time, and it doesn't work. Play to the conditions, just oof it upfield, and hope for the best in those sort of situations. I get he's trying to find a player, but 1 in 10 of those will work, and it's just not good enough distribution. He's a good shot stopper, you know. Ronaldo's chance in the first half was a great save, but his distribution's been shocking. I really have to say. I have to put it out there. Llorente were poor, as I've just said. Should be dropped for me. Llorente, really not good enough. And yeah, obviously when they scored the third goal, Anthony Elland is hit with something in the face, which it's a difficult one, because obviously I don't condone that for 1 minute. You shouldn't be throwing stuff at players, but they were enticing the fans when they celebrated, and it's Leeds fans. You know Leeds fans' reputation. You know, there's always an idiot out there that's going to do something, even if it's just one person. But Anthony Elanga gets struck in the face with something. Obviously, it ends up being okay, plays on. And then he's the one that grabs the 4th goal, and that just kills the game off. And, you know, 3-2, if we'd have lost 3-2, you could have thought, yeah, you know, really good to fight back, just, you know, unlucky with that 3rd goal. But the 4th goal really makes it seem like Man United dominated us when they really didn't. I thought for quite large spells in that game, I thought Leeds were on top. Obviously, the crowd were up for it. The players seemed like they were really up for it. The tackles, it was like a throwback game from 70s. Really good game for a neutral, end to end. I knew both teams would score in this game. But unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. And I just want to say, Ronaldo was woeful. A small part of me, obviously, from years ago, like when he were at his peak at Real Madrid, I've always wanted to see him play live. I can't lie. And not for Man United, obviously, but I've always wanted to see him play live. And I know he's older now, but it wasn't great today. I don't think he did much, really. But yeah, there's not really much more to say on it, guys. I think I'm glad to say that Tyler Roberts did not enter the pitch. I hope Robin Koch's okay as well. That didn't look like a nice injury at all. Hopefully he's all right for Wednesday. But now, you know, speaking of Wednesday, we've got Liverpool at Anfield on Wednesday, and then Tottenham at home on Saturday. Liverpool, obviously, because City lost yesterday, that's kind of... And obviously that game against us is their game in hand. So if they win that, it goes down to like, is it 3 or 6 points? It basically comes closer in title race. But they've got the cup final at the weekend. So does Klopp go strong from the start, and then if they're comfortable, bring the players off? Or does he start weakened? Or does he feel like a weakened Liverpool team is enough to beat us at the minute? I can understand why he would think that. Then we're playing against a Spurs side on Saturday, who have just beaten Man City, so they'll be on a high. But prior to that, they lost 3 games in a row. So you never really know with Spurs what Spurs are going to turn up. If it's the Spurs that beat Man City yesterday, then we're in for a very tough game. But if it's the one that lost the last 3 games in a row, then it's anybody's for me. Liverpool, I've just got a horrible feeling that we're going to be on the other end of a hiding again. I hope not, because that performance today has given me a bit of confidence going into these next 2, just to say that we can play like that against the top teams in this league. I still don't think we need to worry about relegation yet. We're 5 points clear of the drop, which isn't great, but it isn't bad either. It's okay. It's an okay distance away from that bottom 3. Yes, Watford won yesterday. Yes, Burnley won yesterday. But knowing their form, they could go and lose their next 3 or 4 games in a row. So I do still think we'll be okay, even if we finish 17th. I do. I think those teams in that bottom 3 will stay like that. The only other team that I could see maybe getting dragged in it, because they're on a bit of a downward spiral as well, as Brentford. But I think Brentford will just survive as well. But yeah, I think this was just the start of a very tough week ahead, guys. So strap yourselves in because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Don't panic about us going down. Just be positive after that fight, the determination. Yes, it didn't get us a result. I appreciate that. But the way we performed today has given me a tiny bit of confidence going into it. And then after Spurs, you know, we've got Leicester away, which Leicester have just been beat by Wolves. They're not having a great season at all. We can definitely get at Leicester away. And then we've got Norwich at home, which probably, based on the circumstances after these next few, is going to be a huge game. A huge game. We need to be beating Norwich. We just have to. We've got quite a okay a run of games on paper. After we've played Norwich. So, I don't know. I'm trying not to think that far ahead right now. I'm just taking it game by game. But try to stay positive, people. You know, I always try and stay positive. If we'd have played like we did against Everton, I'd be saying it, but we didn't. We played really well. We competed well. Just the clear difference in quality was what edged them the win today. So then, if you've enjoyed this video, people, smash that like button. Please subscribe. As I said at the beginning, I really want to hit 1K as soon as possible. It's been my goal now for a while. If you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in my next upload, people. And I'll see you in a bit.